Welcome and thanks for joining me right here on my channel. The solution is you. Wherever you may be, I hope that you are having a wonderful time. I do appreciate you for taking the time to visit with me right here on the channel. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. How about I go ahead and get into the subject? Now, the topic of today, the baby mama touch up. 5 situations that can haunt you for life. Now, this is for the men. A lot of us get involved in situations that tend to stick with us for a number of years. I know a number of you out there are in situations where you have children by your woman and you may have moved on for whatever reason, and now you may be fighting for visitation, or you may have some type of an agreement to where you get to visit your children and everything is cordial and you have no problems at all. But you live and you learn. So we all fall into so-called traps, and sometimes we have to learn the hard way. And I'm an advocate for men. I believe that men in the household need to be strong and lead and give direction, and that we need to have a clear mind so that we can delegate tasks and things that need to get done to the family, and that makes us stronger. So there are a lot of situations that we can find ourselves in as men, and having children by a woman that you are no longer with can present some issues if you're not careful. So you have to make sure that the decisions that you're making while you are with someone new, maybe you're dating someone new, or maybe you have gotten married and you've moved on from the woman that you've had a child or children with. So there are some things that you have to be aware of. You may have found yourself in a predicament, or if you're trying to avoid being in a situation that could get you caught up, you may want to stay tuned in to the 5 situations that I have for you. So let me go ahead and get into situation number 1, child support sidestepping. So this is a situation where you have a baby mother, and maybe this is a baby mother that gives you a lot of grief and a lot of trouble. Each time you go over to see the child, she wants to know everything about what's going on at your house. Now, this could be warranted depending on what's going on with your particular situation. Maybe she needs to make sure that whoever you may be with is a person who is responsible, and that this person is looking at keeping your environment safe and keeping the child safe when the child is with you. Maybe the mother could be checking to see if your overall living arrangements is clean and safe enough to have the child to come over. But there are situations where you know that child support is just around the corner. So you may have had a child with this woman about a year ago, and there's no child support order in place. And you knowing your baby mother, she has friends, and in their situations, they have their men on child support. And so you know in the back of your mind that it's just a matter of time before you get those orders from the Attorney General. And usually there are some indicators. So for an example, you may come over and in this particular situation, your baby mother has other children that may not be yours, but these kids are all close to each other. And when you come over to pick up your child, the other children want to go. And so the mother is wanting you to take the children all at the same time, even though you're only obligated to take your child. And she's just dangling child support over your head, and you are trying to avoid paying child support, so you comply. So every time you come over to get your time with your child, you go ahead and make it your business to take all the children. So while they're over at your spot, you're providing food and the shelter, and you're taking them out, and you're providing all the things that they need, spending all types of money just in hopes that the mother doesn't put you on child support. Or this could be a situation where you go over and maybe she doesn't have any additional children and you have the one child. And when you come over there, you are engaging in sexual activities so that this will take her mind off of putting you on child support. So as long as she's being satisfied, however often it is, maybe it's every other weekend, maybe it's 2 weekends out the month, as long as she's being satisfied for those times, then you believe that there is no way that she's going to place you on child support. But you never expected that when things go wrong, regardless of how much of an attempt that you put up to avoid paying child support, you could still find yourself being served and have to go into a courtroom and answer to those papers. And this is a trip because this could go on for years. You entertaining all of the kids and you are having most of your weekend occupied by trying to keep them busy. And in the meantime, the mother is enjoying herself, going out, having a great time. She may have some other guy over and they are just partying it up, enjoying life while you are doing more than you're obligated to and being stressed out because you know that what you're going through is basically one-sided and at any time things could change. And as soon as you even signal that you are tired of handling all of that responsibility, the papers are coming in the mail. Number 2, the urge to regress. So a good number of us have been involved in toxic relationships. You met a woman that you had a child with and y'all doing a lot of fighting and y'all had arguments over the smallest of things. Perhaps you were living together and there was some cheating going on, or there was a great deal of disrespect. Maybe she was calling you out of your name and she might have been throwing some punches. There's a lot of toxicity in relationships. And sometimes you may have had some of the best of times. So you go out and you enjoy yourselves and you have some laughs and you might go out for some ice cream. And then 3 days later, you find yourself in some type of a argument. And in these situations, it's best to move on. You know, you've had a child, so you're just trying to make the best out of your situation. So you have some type of an agreement to come see the child, or maybe the child comes stays with you. Sometimes, some situations, you may have custody as the male. You may have full custody. But either way, You may be at home and you may find yourself going through some loneliness. Perhaps you were so traumatized as a man, all the toxicity, that you decided to not be engaged with any other woman for an extended period of time until you felt it was the time to. Maybe it was you continued to have bad luck. Maybe you didn't have your stuff together. Maybe you need to work on your education. Maybe you need to work on your personal skills. Maybe the issue was you and not her. Who knows? But let's just say you got away from her because she was the cause of all the situation and she was the initiator. And so you've separated, you went your own way, the child is with her, and you come over and you visit the child often. So while you're at home and you need to work on yourself, you've had a couple of dates since you left your baby mother, and those dates didn't work out. So you're working on yourself and you're trying to determine what you need to do to get yourself back on track. And so while you're over and you're thinking to yourself, you start thinking about your baby mother. You start thinking about all the times that you had some great sex and all the different things she used to do to you and for you, even though y'all had your fights and your arguments and you were throwing things up against the wall and police had to come out a few times and maybe she went to jail a couple of times. After all of that, you're sitting at home and you're thinking about all the times things didn't go right for you, but you're still thinking about her. And you find yourself talking to her on the phone, you're talking about the kids, but then you direct the conversation to her, asking her how she's doing, and you start talking about old times and things like that. And you start talking about sex and talking about the different times she used to do all these freaky things to you. And when you go over to visit your child, you tend to get some alone time with the mother, basically regressing your game. This is one thing that you do not want to do ever because it comes back to haunt you. Number 3, bitter competition. Now, this is a situation that can really haunt you because it's one thing to be with the mother of your child for a long period of time. Maybe you've been with this woman for 10 years. And so, you thought that you were made for each other. Maybe you were high school sweethearts and you basically know each other. Y'all have done everything together and you just can't see what happened between you two. But nonetheless, you two have moved on, so you are out of the house and it's been about 6 months or so and she has a new man that's coming around. And the thing about this is she wants to know everything about you, but she says very little about what she has going on. And you go over to pick up your child on the time that you're supposed to have them, and you find yourself over there and you got some new guy sitting up in the house. So he's in there and your baby mother starts acting funny because she has a new guy around the house. So the way she talks to you on the phone is totally different in the presence of this new guy. And so, she's saying things to make you jealous while you're around the house. So you know what I'm talking about. You've probably been in this situation before. He probably slapping on the butt while you waiting on the child to get ready. Or maybe he's kissing on the neck while she's in there doing dishes. Competition is something. It's something that really gets under your skin. How many of you have been in this situation? How many men have been in this situation where you're going to pick up your child and the child is not ready? And so you got some other guy over there. He's probably been staying over there, spending the night. You know he's knocking it down. And your girl may be going out of her way to make you jealous. So she's probably talking about things she's going to be doing with him, or they having discussions about what's going to happen that night once the child leaves or something, just being disrespectful. So this is something that you definitely can find yourself signed up for when you have went your own way and now you tied to a woman through a child until they become an adult. So that's why it's important to make the right choices and make sure that you are taking time to get to know the person that you're with before you have a child. Number 4, emotional roller coaster. So there are times when you are talking to the mother of your child and there's ups and downs. Now, this is typical for anyone, especially when there's children involved. Usually your emotions are tied to the child, so when the child is not feeling right, the mother and father are down. When the child is getting good grades, when the child is healthy and very talkative and playful, then the mother and the dad are doing well, feeling well. But there are times when the child is doing fine and you're having a discussion with the mother. You could be in person. Y'all having a discussion about the child and the mother starts crying for no reason at all. And you believe that it's something dealing with your child, but really she's thinking about you and how you've moved on and how a lot of the issues that you have, maybe some of the issues that the child has at times, has a lot to do with you moving on. So a lot of the pressure has been placed on you by the mom as the reason why she's in the state that she's in. And she starts crying and she wants to hug up on you and she's trying to kiss you and things like that. And then when you get back to the house, she's calling you and calling you all kind of names and talking about how of a no good father you are and that you need to bring the child back as soon as you can and don't have the child a minute more than what you are supposed to, otherwise she's going to call the police. Sometimes you have those mothers that go too far. They are caught up in an emotional roller coaster and their feelings are more tied to your relationship or the relationship that you had more than it is in regards to the child. And number 5 of the 5 situations that can haunt you for life: teasing temptation. So this is a situation where you have a baby mother. It doesn't matter how long y'all may have been together. Y'all may have been together 3 weeks and you had a child together and you moved on, or you could have been together for 5 years and you've gone your own way for whatever reason. Now, this is a woman where you've moved on and maybe you have gotten into a new relationship. So in your new relationship, things are going great. The new woman that you're with is doing all the things that you enjoy and love, and she's helping you out. She makes you laugh. She is there to keep you balanced and helping you with things around the house. I mean, this new woman that you're with is help paying the bills and she has everything that she needs. She has a car and she has a decent job and she doesn't have any kids, and then she also has some things that she owns. And when you go to see your child over the baby mother's house, your baby mother knows everything about the new woman that you're with. Maybe the child has come back and told her about all the good times that the child has had. Maybe y'all went to the amusement park one weekend and then y'all went out to eat, and the child is very excited. Maybe the child is getting all kind of gifts and money and being able to live freely and have all sorts of fun. There's no arguments or anything like that. And so the child has basically, children do this. So when they get back to the mother, they talking about what a great time. And sometimes the mother may be asking some questions about what the woman looks like, or maybe the woman knows what your woman looks like. Maybe y'all two have come over to drop the child off and there was some type of introduction and interaction. And so the mother knows how good that your new woman is looking. And you've come over one day to pick up the child. Maybe you're going to bring the child something to eat or something like that. And when you come over, the baby mother knows that you're on your way over. So once you come over, she got on the Daisy Dukes. So she's thick, got the small waist and the big breasts. Now, when you were with her, that was really nothing wrong. I mean, she looked very good, but maybe it was just an attitude. Maybe it was a money problem. Maybe it was you two just couldn't match up. And so, but now that you're over there and you're dropping off some food for the child, she's over in her Daisy Dukes and she has the small waist and got her toes done and got the nails and everything are done and the hair is on point, got the lipstick on. And I mean, she just taking every minute that she can while you in there on the couch with your child, bending over right in front of your face, walking past you, smelling good, sitting right next to you, looking at you, making all kind of eye contact. How many of you have been in this situation where the baby mother is trying to tempt you into something? Maybe it's to actually entice you into having sex or something like that. Or maybe she's just trying to do just enough to let you know that she's the better option than the woman that you're currently with. And she's walking back and forth in your face, making sure that you get a good look. How many of you have had to deal with this? Teasing temptation. This one can really put you in a situation because if you fall for the bait, now she can use this as a bargaining chip for something later down the road. She can give your woman a call and let her know that you've had a sample of the goods. She can say that you've touched her or you did something with her in order to jack up your new relationship. This could also have an impact on the child to say that you cannot be trusted. Maybe there's some type of a child support situation going on and she can use this to her advantage. Who knows what could be going on or what she could be baiting you into. And so as a man, we have to all be aware and cautious of all the many traps and things that are involved with women. There are a lot of great women out there that are looking to have a family and do the right thing for themselves as well as the man that they're into. And as men, we have to lead and we have to make sure that we are vetting out the person that we want to be with. And this can only be done with time. However long that you need to put on the table, 2 years, 3 years to get to know the person before you make things too serious. You want to see what this person could be hiding, what other relationships this person may have been involved in. Does this person have any money problems? What type of uh, friends does she have? These are all things that we need to figure out. You know, is this person desperate? Is this person healthy? Could there be some type of money motivating situation that this person could be in a situation with her health and that she's going to hide that from you, get you involved, and then reveal it later and have you in a situation that you feel sorry for her or something? There's all sorts of games and tricks and things like that that go on. And if you are too involved in a woman's looks, or you're desperate based on you not having yourself together, these are all things that we have to consider and that we need to be aware of, so that are not in situations where we are throwing away our lives and throwing away money and being in situations that can hunt us for the rest of our lives. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.